We played soccer too. Or we didn't play soccer. Grown men played soccer. Not even grown men.
You can say we.
There was a couple.
We're part of it. We let them dictate our mood for the rest of the week. So.
Oh, are you letting them do that?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. How you're not?
So you're in a deep depression.
I mean, it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year.
I think that's my thing. I'm already out. I'm in a depression. Like you can't. At this point, I can't.
You know the
can't be
saddest
worse.
part about it is I'll come up and we roll the tape from last week. We know what's going to happen. It's already written in stone, and we go up 1-0, and I'm like, oh, maybe they can pull one out.
It's like being tricked by porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
right.
should know what's coming.
I know how that ends. Mm-hmm. I know how it ends. They all end the same way. Every single one of them I've ever seen. But I think maybe this one's different.
This is the 2025.
Maybe that's what all they did this week in training was learn how to close out a game. And they finally will figure it out. And we went to Vancouver and hell, okay, fine. Yeah, we let our 75th plus minute goal go in. We're going to get a point in Vancouver. And that's not even really fair. I don't even know that you can.
Did you really think when they scored the second goal, did you honestly think they were going to get a point?
Yes.
At the 78th minute?
Yes, but I'm broken inside.
Yeah.
I thought a point was coming. I thought a point was, and let's be very clear. They deserved a point. They should have gotten a point.
You know maybe why I didn't pay attention to the replay so much was because
you've seen the ending.
I just go like when we went up 2-1, I was like, we're going to lose. It was like, oh, we're going to lose. And then when they scored at that, I'm like, oh, yeah, we're definitely going to lose. And so then I didn't really pay attention to the replay. I just saw that they went to review. Like, oh, yeah. Well, if they're reviewing it, then he did it. Like, why would they review it?
Right.
And so till this morning when I saw it. But yeah, it was just like one of those, like, yeah, we're going to lose. I've been sad for the, I don't know, the whole season. Maybe the first couple of weeks, you're like, oh, we got a point on the road. We weren't allowing goals. Olaf was hot. Olaf was so hot. Remember when Olaf was hot?
Yeah.
We don't even get that anymore. No offense, Critch, but like...
Right. It's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah. No, there's bad. So you thought we were going to get a point?
Yes.
Which would have got us back
because
to 14th place.
Because you should get a point, right. Because you should get a point when you're up 2-1. A point's the worst case scenario there.
Once I saw, like, we're not going to finish last. We're not going to finish bottom at the table, but we're also not going to make the playoffs.
When did you see that we're not going to finish bottom of the table?
I feel like
we could be bottom of the table next week, Ryan. LA won, Montreal. LA won, Montreal won.
Oh, really? It's getting close now to where we could be the bottom of the table?
We are 2 points off of the wooden spoon.
Dang, I didn't know it.
Yeah, dude, it's bad.
Now I'm kind of rooting for that.
I don't know why anyone cares.
Right,
like whether you finish second to last or last, your administration promised the playoffs, so it's embarrassing whatever the result is here, right? And you've got an opportunity to burn it all down. You just don't sign most of those contracts. A lot of people, it sucks because you're taking haircuts. You're not going to get any money on them. You're not going to be able to sell them. You're not going to get any money on those. You don't get any transfer fees to recoup, but you do have an opportunity to build a new team, and Colorado did it last year. Like, you can swing from really awful to a playoff caliber team in 1 year. You can do it in the MLS.
Yeah, I've already seen Sang Bin on the outside is fun. That was fun. Second goal was cool. Just see it, one touch and gone, and you're like, holy hell.
Boy, he's fast, right?
Yeah. Just, it was fun seeing that.
And Klaus...
just jock on the ground.
I know.
Like,
I felt so bad for him.
He was so cooked.
I've been that guy where you get halfway through your first step and you're like, there he goes.
Yeah.
Boy, look at that. Help. Cover. Nope. Okay. That's going to look bad on film, is what you're thinking as the ball gets crossed. But what can you do? It's not his fault. That guy is blazing fast.
Yeah, that was cool.
It is insane. And he makes Klaus look more dynamic. He does make Klaus. It's not a look. That is.
He causes for attention, right? Like,
yes,
teams pay attention to him,
right?
So it's like when you actually have somebody
and it's not
that
even
you have to
like
pay attention to, especially on the outside.
It's not even a guy you can really leave one-on-one. That's too dangerous.
Yeah.
If he's standing on your last defender's back shoulder, you're in trouble. Because it's one through ball, right? One through ball north to south, and he's there's no way you're catching him. Nobody on the field's catching him. So
Man, if we
you
were
almost have to
strong
double.
defensively and could play on the counter.
Yeah, well, it's strong anywhere. I mean, not a whole lot is working. Chris Durkin, I don't know. What do you just tell him like you have a 10-yard radius? Don't leave this circle. I don't understand what's happening. I don't.
On that first corner, I couldn't
Yeah.
text fast enough to you. I was like trying to text, and you got the text out before me. Because I just was like, why was
We're like
Durkin
3 minutes into the game.
nowhere near the most dangerous player who just like
I can't explain what happened. I don't know what's going through his head. And
just see the look on Durkin's face too. Like when he turned around, I was like, "Who's that going to?" And like the guy you're
my mark. Oh shit! I spent most of the game, most of that first half, really trying to figure out the Chris Durkin debacle because it really, I think, probably set our organization back a step here. He's a U22 initiative, so he's taking up like a specialty roster spot. He's a young player. We traded Jared Stroud, which for some reason everyone hated. Not for some reason. He was a very hateable character here. But, we got rid of two guys who went and started for DC United. So we paid money. We wanted Chris Durkin. And I'm like, this might be the problem with the analytics side of the game. Because if you look at his statistic numbers, everything kind of pops off the page, right? Like, holy shit, this guy covers 6 to 7 miles a game. But he's running himself out of position and then running himself back into position.
Right.
He's
running
dumb.
because
Yes,
he's in the wrong spots.
And maybe that doesn't come across through your statistics or your analytics. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what they saw. And it was a Carnell guy. So, but we don't have that spot. We don't have a guy that can just keep. We kind of do. Morales could do it. And inexplicably, he has not been really given a chance. I guess he's been hurt for a while, and he's old, so I don't know. Maybe they don't think he can go the 70 minutes that we need.
Yeah, whatever. They suck.
They're terrible,
Yeah.
but I don't. But it's my point is it's in a lot of spots. It's not like we're not one player away from a fix here.
Make sure we hit all the check boxes though. Do your hot take on the last penalty.
I mean, I saw the replay a billion times. Kai Joyner doesn't touch him. They're running parallel. They're near each other, and then the guy kicks his own heel and falls down. That's the only thing I've ever. They showed 4 different angles for like, and I'm upstairs on my couch in my living room with 4 other people, and we're all going, "What is taking so long? What could we saw it on the first replay? He kicked his own foot. He fell.
Yeah.
There's no contact. I don't understand. I thought the first penalty kick was pretty soft.
He had a bad game.
I understand.
It was a
the ref.
He had a bad night.
Did you watch anything after the game? I didn't see it. I was trying to stick around for the press conference. I couldn't make it. It was late.
I thought he was just inconsistent.
I was wondering if Critch said something because I assumed I would have heard about it on Twitter.
That would be interesting if we looked up coaches' comments before we did a soccer
podcast about it. What are you going to do? It's not really our style to be
Yeah.
prepared.
Is that something we do producers?
If you're looking
do?
for preparation,
can we blame Bree for that?
find any one of the other St. Louis City podcasts.
You can blame Bree for some things, but you're still you.
That's a good point. That's a great point. It's like the meanest Mr. Rogers thing ever.
It's not her person.
If Mr. Rogers was a bully.
Yeah. Like, you
Like,
can't
listen,
blame
Tommy.
your personality on her, unfortunately.
You're still you, buddy.
But
You dumb fuck.
the point is that it's comical in ways that they're finding ways to lose games. And that one feels like it got taken away from you, but the reality is if you were a better team, you're never even in that position.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You ice out a game at 2-1 in the 76th minute or whatever you're at. And it's individual players losing battles, and but you're tired. So Valen fouls.
The roster isn't good enough.
Yeah,
that's at the end of the roster is not good enough, and you don't have. It's not just when you're building a roster, build it build it with a 6 in mind, like that whole thing. Like, why don't you have the right type of players?
Well, yeah, but which of our 13 center backs would you leave off?
Right. That's a good point. You need 13.
Right.
So yeah, I just don't get it just doesn't seem like good roster construction. That's fine. And maybe they'll get it right next season, and and maybe they made some right moves. And if they decide that, hey, we just gotta,
They spent money. They
Yeah,
spent money.
they're not
and that's
spending
why I think they're not going to spend money. I don't know how much more money there is to spend. You spent a lot of money in the
I'd
last.
assume as a MLS franchise, you have pretty much a budget for your roster, and hopefully you want to win on some of that stuff. But so you have a budget. It's not like that's where I'm like you have a budget. You're going to stay with inside. I would assume St. Louis is always going to spend in the top half of the league.
I don't know. I mean,
I just think they will. I don't know. I just kind of have that thing. Like I think the ownership is in on building a good team. I don't think we've done that, but I think
they tried.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I
they've
think
tried,
this ownership
yeah.
group is definitely not. I think.
But you're year 3. I mean, I don't know. You can only swing and miss so many times before you're like, we got to eat it a couple of years and
sure
keep buying your bulk and treat box, and we'll spend the money when we have it again. I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. If you were a 6 away, you go buy Andre Kubas or whoever.
Right, but you got a lot of guys like again whatever. We talk about it every week. Whatever.
You're done with it.
I'm so done with it. I'm so done with it. I'm also done with
these jabronis.
They're a bummer.
We got a team though, man. It's so cool to have a team.
Yeah, I'm going to go every game.
We'll go to every game.
I like it. We have
Show
a
up, be
podcast
loud.
about it. We just don't have to talk about it. Like it's exhausting having the same conversation. Like, oh, we lost 3-2 again.
Yeah, it always is like, what are we going to talk about? And like, well, we're in a Groundhog's Day.
Yes.
Of like just a folly of errors to where they end up losing somehow every
it's
game.
Honestly, it's been the St. Louis sports for the Cardinals for the last 5 years too. Like it's just like they're gonna do the same thing year after year. They're gonna be around 500 and do this dance, and you go like whatever. And that's what's interesting is the team's so new. Who cares? We'll get better. We'll have this
Yes, yeah.
I think
People
the ownership-
forget this is what expansion teams look
Right.
like.
The ownership will keep. I think the ownership will keep spending. It's fine. It's fine.
These are great.
What Grim
I love my soccer team. My soccer team sucks.